Hello, welcome to another tarot deck flip through. So something a bit interesting here. There are a number of decks out there which have an association with Lord of the Rings and use artwork and images that is associated with Lord of the Rings. This is a deck I've had for quite a number of years. What's interesting about this deck is that you can use it in the same way you'd use a conventional tarot deck, but within it there is a card game which is structured in a certain way, and it has rules in the deck with the deck, which we'll have a look at in a moment. I'm not going to go in an in-depth analysis of the rules, by the way. Now, of course, there are associations with tarot and using the cards as a game from way back. That's not an unusual thing, but obviously this particular deck has a certain system to it, which is, going to be unique for this particular deck. It's produced by US Game Systems, as are a vast majority of tarot decks out there. If you look at them, you'll find there's an awful lot which have the US Game System Inc. publishing branding. There's also a copyright for Tolkien Enterprises from 1996. So like I said, I'm going to flip through this in a moment. I'm going to just let the cards, I think, speak for themselves. Once I do that, I'm not going to go into, like I say, any depth about the interactions of various cards and the way the game works. But I'm just going to flip through the little booklet so you can see in here what there is. So we have the conventional meanings of the cards, if that is indeed a word that you can use, but there's certain obviously meanings they have listed for the different cards, both the major and the minor arcana. And then it has a meditation section where you can meditate on the cards. That's a popular thing to do. There's a Celtic cross spread there. And then we have the rules of the actual card game if you want to use it like that. Easy to learn and quick to play. There's the object of the game. It's got these symbols on it as well, which you'll notice as we flip through. So keep your eyes open for maybe which elements are from Lord of the Rings and the game system versus what elements are there as a result of it being a tarot deck. So we've got a couple of additional cards, and this is, if you're interested, this is the backing on there. And then we have a quick guide to victory points. So let's have a flip through. I've organised this. In fact, let me do a quick reorganisation here. So I do have the major arcana at the front, because that's probably what everybody's used to seeing. And the fall in this deck is our old friend Column. Okay, and down the bottom you'll find usually there is an association with a named character and the character on the card, but we'll see how consistent that is. Obviously, in some instances, it does make logical sense as to what particular character from the Lord of the Rings they have chosen. In other instances, you can see they've basically just tried to fit something in because they have a slot available. I'm also curious if some characters and other parts of the storyline actually repeat themselves in here. I've got more than one card. You can see that the style's pretty unique. I'll include in the description somewhere on here there we go, yeah. Developed by Terry Donaldson, artwork by Peter Pracownik, I think that is Pracownik, game by Mike Fitzgerald. So now onto the minor arcana. And as you can see, there are references to the storyline. I haven't gone through this in any great detail, but it'd be interesting to know the link between the reference to the storyline here and the actual interpretation of the card. How much that actually lines up. Interesting. So, yeah, what they've done here, which is curious, is we've got a bit of crossover here between the storyline in the Lord of the Rings and the storyline in the Hobbit. Now I'm assuming that's because it's the sort of, a link with the actual One Ring. Yeah, so my point is they're not sticking to storylines from just the Lord of the Rings trilogy. There are references to things that occurred in The Hobbit. I suppose that, you know, does make perfect sense if maybe, and I'm not familiar with the game itself here that much, maybe, you know, it's more about, the game is more about the movement of the one ring, like its journey, if you like, which of course is spread across multiple books. So there's Bilbo's party. And there we have it. It's the last card. So hopefully that was interesting. Like I said, it's a deck I've not seen for a long time actually, or copies of it, since I bought it. I think I've seen one other copy maybe in a shop. And I don't know how widespread the deck is. I mean, like I said, there's new Lord of the Rings inspired decks. Certainly I saw one the other day at Chapters. So I'd be interested to know if anybody out there watching this video has actually seen this deck before or even owns a copy of it. Thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in the next video.